Welcome everyone to Play or Pass, Season 5, Episode 4. So thank you everyone for joining us. If you've not watched this show before, what we do is we'll review a couple movies that were voted on last week for us to watch for this week. And then we'll also be voting on the movies we need to watch next week. So we're going to cover two movies, which is 355 and Journal for Jordan. And we welcome you to say your comments about either one of those movies as we're talking about those movies, and make sure to join the Telegram group to vote on your thoughts for these movies. So thanks everyone on the panel. How's everybody doing today? We got Alban. How you?
I'm good. I'm good. Glad to be here. Glad to see you guys. Uh,
Yeah.
miss you at the beach. But
Yeah.
thanks so much for your intro, like usual.
Yep. Nice. I like that. I like that text in there. That text looks good.
Yeah.
Andrew, you doing well today?
Good, good. That intro was very Star
Star
Wars.
Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was kind of getting all excited.
Yeah.
Eddie, thank you for joining us. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, everything's going good today.
Good. Good. All right, Roger, you're doing well today.
I am well, thank you.
Awesome to hear everybody's hanging with us today. So, again, if you've what we do is we review certain movies, and again, we ask for you to give your comments over on the side chat so we can throw them out here on the chat for everybody to see, as well as we'll post a link to the show. If you want to join the show near the end, you can join and actually verbalize your thoughts on the movie. So, thanks for the run through. We got Soheil hanging with us. Thank you. Red joined with us, of course. Guy on the couch is with us. Patty D is in the house. Jim's hanging with us. So nice to see everybody in with us, hanging out. We'll try to run through this. So we'll review the two movies we got this week. Then at the end, which is about the 1 hour mark, we kind of go into overtime, and we will talk about current TV shows and other things that people that are trending that some of the panel thinks that we might want to check out. Little news and stuff. So we'll go ahead and get cranking on this. Y'all, does that sound good for you guys?
Yeah. Wait. Are we gonna?
Yep.
Gonna go over the next
Oh,
week's movies.
good
I
point,
wanna
good.
first. I wanna apologize to everyone out there for driving everyone crazy this week for all the movies. Um,
I mean,
but
all the dings.
Yeah, all the things. I'm gonna find another way to not drive you guys so crazy. But it was that because of this week with the Oscars and me creating all these rooms for all of us to, piss and moan about the these movies that they consider, Oscar greats. So we can, we'll discuss some of them
Yeah, we'll
today.
talk
But
about a little bit of that
we also
towards
have
the end of
them.
the show.
Yeah, and we at least have a spot that we can air how we really feel about them, and maybe one day we'll get someone from the Oscar powers that be to say, hey, this is what people are really saying. Okay.
Well, there's not. What's it? 9,300 people are part of the Academy, the voters for the Academy.
Mhm.
I actually watched it live on the news the other morning when they were announcing on
Mhm.
ABC. So 9,300 people vote as well, and when they do for like there's certain categories, the people that are involved in those certain categories vote for that particular category. So let's say makeup, so people that are involved in the makeup side of the Academy will vote on the movies for that particular segment. So that's well,
Mhm.
we'll talk more about that towards the end. These are so we got next week we're gonna do some throwbacks. So we're gonna do some throwback movies next week. Thank you, Andrew, for trying to change up the poll here on live TV. I saw the poll change like while we're watching. So
I just post in the links in the chat so it's easier for people to go instead of
thank you.
scrolling through 47 pinned messages.
Yeah, we got it becomes kind of a cluster there. So this is with throwback movies. So the options for this week, for next week, we're voting from this week. Canadian Bacon, Collateral, Dead Man Don't Wear Plaid, Instructions Not Included, It's a Mad World, The Rock, Up in Smoke, Vanishing Point. Now, right now on that particular poll, Up in Smoke is leading. So that's Cheech and Chong. And for any of you too young to know about Cheech and Chong, you need to know about Cheech and Chong. For
Yeah,
many of us
that's
old
for sure.
schoolers, we know about some Cheech and Chong, and y'all think you invented smoking, and no, you didn't. You need to go back and watch
You didn't.
Cheech and Chong. So we have two polls. So again, two older throwback movies. So that was on poll one. The other poll, it has Apollo 13, Clerks, Crossroads, Slapshot, Bad News Bears, The Firm, Whiplash, and Young Frankenstein. And those are the movies. And right now, The Firm is leading with not a firm lead, but just a narrow lead over Slapshot. So that could change very easily, and over Young Frankenstein. So 2 votes could
I'm gonna call
actually
the
sway
Hanson
that.
brothers.
I want to point
Yeah, I'm
out
gonna call the
that
Hanson brothers.
I want to point out that Terry Garr was never prettier than when she was in Young
No.
Frankenstein.
No,
So
she wasn't.
All right,
No,
so
she wasn't.
that's the 2 polls. Be sure to vote before the end of the show because whatever 2 movies are, or whatever 2 movies are leading it, those will be our movies for next week, and we will be forced to watch it, and you should be forced to watch it too because we had to sit through the 2 movies this week, and believe me, I was not a happy camper on these 2 weeks. So,
Spare me.
uh,
I almost made 16.
I can't do it. I have Oculus games to play. I ain't got all
Yeah.
time for that.
I know
So-
you do, and that's what I'm afraid. That's why I'm worried that you're trying to drag me in, and so I won't watch any movies for this show.
So
I don't
let's-
know what you're doing to me.
we can watch movies in VR, and
Yeah, we
it's a
can.
lot of fun.
Okay, so let's get cracking on this. We do see some people
No, the
talking about
first
some
one
of the.
was the other movie.
No, let's start with
4.1.
355. Let's.
Okay.
I think get the bad taste out of your mouth first. Let's just. Yeah, Andrew. So any of the poll links.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I mean, were you reading the private chat? Were you?
Yeah, oh yeah, sorry.
Oh, I just meant the poll links for the voting.
Okay.
Might be easier, and then you could just see it's down there.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say for this movie, I just thought I'd get it out of the way now since I already told all you guys. I got an hour into this movie and I was falling asleep, so I stopped watching it. So I haven't watched it all. I'm sorry, but I just could not get into this.
It was horrible.
So I don't know where my vote's gonna go.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and get cranking on this movie. 355 Blue was stoked on this. She's like, look at the cast on this. You've got a phenomenal cast, and as we have looked at it, and she's like, it's mostly female cast, and she was excited about it. She goes, I love this kind of stuff, And I said, what have we learned when we load up a movie with a good cast or a lot of big stars?
Mhm.
You find that the movie's going to fall short, and yeah, she and I both. Oof. So 355. So yeah, we'll start. If anybody, I know there's people that liked it because if you look in the Telegram chat, more people liked this movie than did not.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, I liked it. So you want me to get my
come on.
my
Go
good
ahead.
stuff out of the way? All right. When I watched this, I think I did the same thing like you guys did, where you fell asleep like after a while because it just seemed so, what the
Slow.
heck? Right. And I fell asleep on it, and I said, no, I got to give it a chance. So I watched it the second time. The second time I was a little more intrigued because I knew a little bit about what the heck was going on. So that's why I liked it. Sure, it was like Charlie's Angels on steroids, because you had all of these women that that drew you to want to watch the movie.
Good comparison.
Penelope Cruz, I'm always she's always a welcome sight for me to see.
Unless she's wearing that wig.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
listen, I wouldn't throw her out of the room, okay? Because she's still the most
I'd be like,
gorgeous
please turn that light out
one of them all. She's
with that wig on.
No, Penelope, if you're listening, I still care about you. I like any movies that have like the CIA, FBI, MI6, all of that was there. So I was in my glory, you know. Uh, you know, but I think it was because they made it like such a cast of so many powerful women. That's why I forgot the movie. You know, I think that was the problem with the movie. You know,
Not the writing.
I don't know because I looked. I thought the writing was like something like out of that you know a child wrote. You know, because that's
Yeah.
when I
Yeah,
say a
yeah.
child wrote, meaning that it's the younger generation that's coming up and trying to write something, but they have no concept of what they're writing about. You know,
Or
when you're
a
going to
middle
take
schooler
all
wrote
of
it.
these, yeah, you're going to take all this stuff and you're going to put it together. I think if it were written right, it could have been a really good story. You
Yeah.
know, because it's like I lost my imagination in it. You know, from the way it was written, but I
I
still
did
think
too, but I found
it
it
could
when I
have
fell
been done
asleep.
right.
My imagination came
Uh-huh.
back.
Yeah.
You think it was like
I don't
too
know. I don't.
cliche?
Just like how you said before, I just don't think that you know having that high power of the cast was worth it. You know,
Hmm.
for them to hit 13.5 million on in the box office. You know, compared to the other movie, and it's just like how you know. But this is what we get. You know, this is going to be the new norm if we're going to watch the new
Please.
stuff. So be no really be wary of it because I watch a lot of movies and I'm telling you, this is the
There
new norm to them.
there is a theme to bring women's empowerment to the forefront
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
just jam it down your throat at
Hmm.
every
Mm.
chance. Which
Yeah.
and I'm all for women empowerment. Don't get me wrong. I think it's great,
Hmm.
but they can't. I don't think you'll ever find a 5'4", 110-pound chick in stiletto heels doing Krav Maga and taking out 6 guys with submachine guns ever.
Right.
I just don't think it's very plausible.
Oh, you mean that stuff doesn't happen? Oh,
No,
maybe I was all wrong. Okay. I guess I've had too much of this forced down my throat because, you know, if you do also notice, they were wearing my most hated thing is jumpsuits. I have a thing against that. Like with women, you know, and you're going to put them in a jumpsuit and put them in front of me. You know, I do have a problem with it, you know,
at
so
least all the women were dreamy.
they're in the Gal Gadot. They were at least what?
They were all beautiful.
Oh
At
yeah,
Yeah.
least all the women
Yeah.
were smoking hot.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
And I mean
Okay.
yeah, go ahead, Eddie.
I, for me, if this would have been a DC movie or a Marvel movie, I would have hated it. Okay, but since he had these these super women in there, you know, I at the beginning I started to like everybody else, starting to doze off a little bit. And then I woke up and I started watching it, and I really got into it. But like you said, the storyline wasn't that good, but the action was good, which I liked. Um, I got the feeling at the end that this is leading into a remake of another movie in the same genre. I don't know if everybody else, because they said, you know, when they separated at the end, it was like,
Oh
in other
yeah.
words, it looked like, well, we're going to meet up again, you
Oh,
know?
that's what. Of course, they were
Oh,
setting up as the
They
sequel.
they did-
Pe-
they expected more than 13.5
Hmm.
mil at the box office.
Oh, okay. You were expecting.
They were
Yeah.
expecting a Charlie's Angels
Yeah,
excitement about it,
yeah.
and
It was
Hmm.
a good movie. It was a good
Eh,
movie. I like the action. Like the storyline sucked a little bit, but would I watch it again? Maybe not.
um,
Hmm.
yeah. I mean, for me, honestly, when I did doze off. And woke up right there near the auction and stayed awake till the end. The all right, so the end, and this is what gets me with these undercover spy movies. That goes with James Bond. I was not a fan of the last couple of James Bond movies also. So, but when I see these marksmen shooting 100 rounds and not hit
Yep.
anybody,
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute. These are
Mhm.
dead eye,
Yeah.
on point,
Yep.
dead eye
Right.
marksmen. And they're just they're shooting.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, nobody's getting shot. I mean,
And then the chick will make a 75-yard shot
An
with a
incredible shot.
handgun.
yeah. It's just it was
And
just-
shoot the line. That's what I like. That she shot like the line that dropped everything else.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
oh yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about that when she's running along and shoots that light fixture,
Yeah.
the cable, and it falls in front of the motorcycle. And I mean, of course, but I felt like the lines, the dialogue, at some point, did any of the actresses in this movie say, would I really say that? There was so many places where Blue and I are watching this movie. And again, she was excited for this movie. She was pumped to see it. She really wanted to watch it. And she looks at me, she goes, that's just a terrible line. And I'm like, yeah. And as we watch it, she goes, this just doesn't even feel good. It doesn't. The storyline didn't flow. Why were they dragging along? What's her name? The shrink, Penelope Cruz.
Because she had
Yeah.
to unlock the phone because
Yeah.
the tech expert couldn't figure out how to transfer
It's
it. to the
yeah.
next
Reset
So
the
they're
password.
dragging her along. I'm like, all right. So is she the double agent in this? I mean, is that where we're gonna twist it up?
Mhm.
And then at the end, I don't know. I just there were so many places that I was just like, that doesn't even make sense. That just doesn't feel. I don't feel it. I thought that it had aspects. Some of the action sequence. Some of them were good. Some of them were exciting, but too many times I didn't get where the whole movie was going, in the lines, the dialogue. Just
I think it was because they had to give each of them their own minute to shine. So
Yeah.
it was,
Yeah,
you
maybe.
know what I mean? Who could you? Because would you say was the main star? You know what I mean? You
Jessica
can't.
Chastain.
Yeah, I know, but in the others' eyes, they would say, "Oh, well, no, I'm the main
yeah.
character." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Really?
It was like an early 2000s story plot,
Yep.
just rehashed,
Yeah.
but with all
Yeah.
women as the main
Yep.
roles.
It- Right, so
Yep.
this is a hole in the movie, and I said it right at the very beginning when they first had to go find this little black box, the computer thing, and there were this and that, and they got it, and they somebody else has it now, and I looked at Blue and I was like, why the hell didn't they just smash it?
Mhm.
Why didn't you just smash it? And guess what they did at the end? They smashed it. And I'm like,
Yeah,
they
this could have
smashed it.
saved us over an hour.
2 hours.
Over,
I mean, we
it
could've-
was 2 hours of that.
Well,
you know,
could.
yeah.
They had it after an hour. They actually had
Yeah.
it in their hands.
Right.
They could have crushed it then, but no, we're going to hold on to it.
That's
and
when I
then-
stopped watching. Literally, as soon as they handed it over to the guy, I was like, right, that must be the end. I'm done.
Oh gosh!
Congratulations.
It
And then
They
this-
killed off
this guy-
Sebastian Stan.
and this guy getting away, and they was like, oh, he
Mhm.
kills the one guy, and he's like, oh, I'm going to go get all of them. And I looked at Blue, and I'm like, he had all of them lined up and killed
Mhm.
some of their families. I said, and right
Yeah.
there, I'm like, why isn't he shooting all of them too? No, let's leave them alive so they can come after you. I mean, there were so many places that the storyline, you're like, oh, we know where this is going because he didn't kill any of the double knot spies, and it's like, I don't know.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that bitches about script.
It just didn't. I'm learning more about scripts as we watch these movies. You're watching with a little bit closer eye.
Now, the cinematography in this movie was outstanding.
good.
It was
Oh, yeah.
beautifully shot, but
Mhm.
that was about all. Good cinematography and good visual
Costumes. The costumes were
Costumes,
nice.
yep.
Costumes were
and
nice.
Mhm.
But other than that, it was pretty ridiculous from start to finish. Honestly, it really was.
Well,
I
be
Just
ready
proof
for it to
it's-
get some type of an award.
It's proof
Just, that
that it doesn't matter what actors you've got or how good the cinematography is. If the script is rubbish and the story's rubbish,
Yep.
no one's gonna care.
Yep.
Mm-mm. I think you guys hit it on a. To me, it was like a cheap, bad version of a Charlie's Angels.
Yep.
It just
Mhm.
you're trying to go for that niche. You need to put a little bit more
Mhm.
into it. I don't know you again
You
character. You
needed a
gotta
guy.
care about.
You needed a
You had
guy
to. You
that
had him.
that
He
they
ended up
would
being the
go
bad
back
guy.
to. Yeah,
Remember, it
true,
was the
but
guy that
no.
the guy that was this guy. He was the. Remember, he was the CIA agent or the CIA agent
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was
yeah. Well,
a
no,
crook and then
I'm talking about a
became
real
back
guy.
to be a boss man at the CIA. I
Uh,
mean,
uh, yeah, but I'm talking a guy that they would have. I guess they can't do that with the women empowerment, but at least a guy that they would at least care more about and go back to and get some type of feeling between the two of them. You know what I mean? I
yeah. Well,
don't
you
know.
love
It's
interest.
missing something.
There was a love
Not
interest because
interest. There was a
right there
love
at the
interest,
beginning.
but I'm
Yeah,
not talking a love interest. Because what was that? Who was that in Charlie's Angels?
Bill
Bosley
Murray.
was never a love interest. You know what I mean? He was there to support them.
yeah.
They didn't
Yeah.
have that.
Yeah. And why did this movie have to have a 2-hour runtime?
Yeah.
That
Right.
that was
It
the
was too
that was the
much.
most painful. If it would have been an
Yeah.
hour and 20 minutes, I probably would have liked
Hmm.
it a lot more.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny you say that because when we get to the next movie,
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I had the same problems with well, not the same problems, but I had some problems with the next movie as well.
Yeah. But so I don't know. I've looking to see if you guys had comments. I see I've posted some of the comments over here as people. Um, Tan's posted a few things. So yeah, we've got a few comments for people that watched this movie and what they thought. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We're getting ready to
Negative
move on to the
feels.
next movie. I don't unless you guys
I'll post the
pros and
I'll,
cons. We'll
I'll
do.
post the player passport for this movie now in the chat
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
if anybody
So
wants to go.
all right. So we're gonna go ahead and so we do player pass for this particular movie. So we'll run down through
Yeah.
the
Sure.
so player pass on this particular movie 355. Would you uh play would means that you would recommend this to somebody else. You'd want your name on this when your friend watched it because it was your recommendation, or a pass that you don't want your name on this movie because you don't want your friend coming back and cussing you out. So let's see. So player pass in the side chat over here. Eddie, what do you think? Player pass for 355.
I give it a slow, a soft play. I give it a soft play.
Okay, soft play reminds me of getting old. Roger, what do you player pass?
It's a pass for me. I could not recommend this one in good faith. I really can't.
Yeah, with you there. Andrew, play or pass?
Pass. It
Pass.
was
All
too
right.
too boring.
Auburn. Yeah. Auburn, what do
It's
you
a
think? Play or
slow
pass?
play. Slow play.
Slow play. God, all right. All
Yeah,
right.
slow play because it was slow moving and I I won't give it to guys to watch, but if a girl wants a action film that a guy could actually sit through, there you go.
Yeah.
Not to
I've
say that women don't like good action films, but uh, the cast that was in it, I think it was too much. It was too long, but I still liked it after the second watch.
I have Dave or the Beaches critique as well. He sent me.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Go ahead.
Here we go.
He also gave this movie a pass. Be, his most hated part of the movie was these where Diane Kruger runs up to the subway and can't get on the subway when it's
Uh,
stationary. And then later, as the subway is moving 25 miles an
Yes.
hour down the tracks, somehow she's able to get on the train. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's right. Yeah. While the train's moving, you can't open the door, but yeah.
Yeah.
So we got
Well,
numerous passes.
yeah, but it's still a few plays because in the
Yeah.
poll
Yeah.
it's close. It's 5-4, 5 play, 4 pass.
Yeah. with the
So,
cost
guys,
and
make
damn
sure
people out
you're
on that.
voting there. Make sure you
So
vote.
yeah. All right. So let's go ahead. Let's move on to our next movie. Let's move on to Journal for Jordan. Journal for Jordan, which is our next movie. Michael B. Jordan, that man, he the hardest working man in Hollywood right now. Uh,
He's
he getting
trying
all
to
kind.
become Nick Cage.
Yeah, he's getting some roles.
Yeah.
I'll give you
No.
that. So,
Yeah.
Journal for Jordan,
Hey,
based on a true story. Yeah.
no. Go ahead.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Journal for Jordan, based on a true story. Directed by Denzel Washington,
Denzel.
and written. This is written by the woman that wrote this was actually the wife in the story. She actually wrote the story. Happenly watched. I don't know. It was on one of the morning shows one time when this was at the theaters, and she was on the talk show with Denzel, and she was on set every day. She wrote the story, and so it wasn't just a ghostwriter doing all this. So that to me holds a little bit. I do like that true story stuff, but so I'll open the door to this one. So what do you guys think on Journal
I
for Jordan?
I thought the script in this one was pretty good, really good actually. I didn't. Again, 2 hour runtime. I don't know why, because the first hour and a half were hard. I wouldn't say hard to watch, but boring AF. It was important, I guess, because you had to tell the love story
Yeah.
in order for it to have any weight at the end. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so, but I don't know that I needed an hour and 15, 20 minutes of love story
Yeah,
in
the
it.
build up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did it. The last 20 minutes of this movie I thought were great. It did make me tear up a little bit there at the end, and I always do that with fallen soldiers, especially hero fallen soldiers. I mean, the guy if you looked at the end when they were doing this memorial and all the medals that he had received over his time in the service, very
Yeah.
impressive. Yeah, he
Yeah.
had the Bronze Star, he had Purple Heart, he had Foreign Service awards galore. Um, so obviously, a patriot, and thank you for your service. You know, but I don't think I needed to delve that far into his love life. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just a cynic. I don't know.
No, I was exactly the same. It was like the first hour of the movie. Like they could have cut that down to like half an hour.
Yeah,
Like this was too long. It was like 2 hours and 11 minutes is way too long for this. This movie could have been, if it was a bit more condensed, because it was a good story and like I like the characters in it, but I wanted more of like the journal stuff.
me too.
Because the beginning stuff was just, it was just too much. It was just all about.
The love story.
It's great that you got to establish the love story, but like that was like it basically, I felt like I was living the life, their life. It was just like going through nearly every aspect of their life, and it was just like there was some bits that could have just easily cut out,
Yep.
and it would
Was
have
that
made the movie much better.
could this be the reason why that part of the movie, it just dawned on me? Again, this was written by the from the wife's
Wife.
position. She actually wrote the
Girlfriend, by the way.
well, all right, yeah,
Yeah,
baby
girlfriend,
mama.
yeah.
She's the baby mama.
Yeah.
So she wrote the story. So maybe that's why it's so strong in that aspect of the movie,
Oh yeah,
because that's because that made such an impact in her life. That's why
and
that
and
development was so
to be
big.
fair, if it was any of us, it would probably would do the same because you
Oh,
want to
yeah.
because you want to tell how perfect
Much
and
you loved
lovely
him.
your partner was, and like you got a chance to do it on the big screen. You're gonna put as much detail into it as you can, aren't you? But I think maybe it's the director and like the executives and that could have like worked with her a bit more and just like said, listen, this is to make this like really good. Just like let's just cut a little bit of the things that like the smaller details we could take out,
Yeah.
and it would still be good, and you'd still be able to see the relationship they had. And it's just
Well,
like there was just too much.
Yeah, I thought that. Yeah, I thought that also, but I figured that how is production going to go up against Denzel and this woman?
Well, Yeah.
You
So
know,
I
to say, "Oh, we're
yeah.
going to cut this out." You know what
Yeah.
I
Well, that's
mean?
it. If like she's got
It's
Denzel on
Denzel,
board and it's his movie, isn't it? So
right?
he's not going to
Right.
want to.
Right. So you know, and you know, Denzel can be long-winded sometimes
Yeah.
because he wants
He likes to
everyone to
tell a
feel it.
story.
Right. He likes
Did,
to tell a story, and he wants everyone to feel it. And I thought that he did good direction because I don't think anybody has ever, you know, made Michael Jordan uh, portray how Denzel just made him, you know, us like him again. Because, you know, we
Yeah.
all, I would have normally went into this and saying, oh, it's Michael B. Jordan. You know, look
Yeah,
at that
we've
last
hated
piece
on
of
a lot
crap
of his
that we
movies lately.
hated him. Right. And this was completely different to me.
I
It was like,
I
you know,
thought
he brought me back.
I
Yeah.
thought Michael's acting in this was wooden, stiff as all get out, and I don't know if that was a conscious choice that they made because he was a military man.
That's what
He
I
had to.
think it
I think
was.
it was a military thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was
I
because you
hope
saw
it was.
he was supposed to be straight laced,
Yeah,
drinking
Right.
water, eating
Very polite,
salads.
Uh-huh.
yeah,
You know, it
respectful,
it was
Mhm.
a
polite.
bit
But
over than realistic. You know, it was like he didn't have any flaws, and I think that you guys said something right. It was written by and I hey, not to I when I said baby mama, Tam's right. It was
Mhm.
his fiance.
yeah.
I wasn't trying. I was trying to just be
Mhm.
funny, but
Yeah.
he she saw him as perfect and he did every single thing right, you know, other than being
Mhm.
there for the birth of his baby.
Yeah.
So I could see where you're seeing it from her point of view, and so in her point of view she was kind of, I don't want to say hoodie, but she was kind of rough and from the streets, and she was with him and he was like, you know, yes ma'am, no
Yeah.
ma'am, and just and you saw, I think they tried to build up that they were two different worlds, and I think that at the beginning that they were showing she's this way and he's that way, and how those two worlds came together. So
I think because he was an instructor, he was in the army. He wasn't in the Marines, was he?
Army, it was Army.
He was an
Army.
instructor in the army. In other words, he was living his life as an instructor because he was taught. That's the way he was taught. I'm saying, but it influenced a little bit of his love relationship with his girlfriend. But personally, I think the beginning when like we're all saying that too much emphasis on the love relationship between them in the beginning. I think that's a major part. I think for me that's it could have been cut down more. I don't think so. I think she's writing it like a book. Like Jordan wrote a book
mm,
for his son, so I think she's writing the book on her relationship and her life with him.
Well, it's based on her book that she
It's
did
based on
write.
her book,
Mhm.
but I'm
I
just
think
But what really got me was at the end at the cemetery when uh, when
Yeah.
his son was reading the book and all the other soldiers came around to, and they all put their hands together around the grave. But what I found out in the credits that he wasn't buried
Nope. Arlington. Nope.
he was buried somewhere else.
Yeah.
But it's the effect there. I'm
Mhm.
saying he merited the respect, but the best way this movie was told, I think, was told this way because it's coming from a personal account.
Hmm.
Uh,
well, I think I personally think it would have been better told the way they did it near the end of the movie where they travelled. She travelled with her son to go
Hmm.
to the father's grave, and he was reading the journal, and then he was asking her questions. I
Mhm.
think it would have been better the scenes if the scenes were more him reading the journal and stuff that his dad wrote,
Yeah.
and then him asking his mom questions, and then it could go. She could go out like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
she could go
Mhm.
back to the flashbacks that way, and it would
Yes.
come
Yeah.
that way rather
Right.
than starting the movie at like how they met and then going
Mhm.
all the way through.
But it jumped back and forth too.
yeah.
That was
Yeah.
But it
because it
did
went to,
Yeah.
eventually, yes.
it was
Yeah.
like
Eventually
jumping
it
back
did.
and forth, and I was
Would
like,
have
all right,
been
so
better.
we
Like I think it would have been better though from the like reading the journal, getting
yeah,
stuff from the
yeah.
journal, and then the questions from the child to the mother, and then the mother just like reminiscing as like what you would do with your child anyway that asked you questions about a relative or a parent they've never met or
Other
Mhm.
other than the Arlington scene, I don't think that the child actor was very good at all. I think if you're going to have a movie called Jordan's Diary or Jordan's Journal, you spend a little more time finding a good Jordan because that
Yeah.
kid really didn't have very good acting chops.
When they were there at the Washington Monument, or when they were there in Washington D.C., when they were sitting there, and the mom was talking about how did my dad die.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
You saying about the acting of him at that point? I was watching. I'm like, kind of cringed a little bit because I felt, I don't know, he felt the acting at that point of it did not really pull me in.
At all.
There were lots of aspects of the story that pulled me in, but that part I was like, you could have done a little better, maybe in his acting, or out of, that there was something about that he just felt very blah.
It was it was high school production, college production level talent,
Yeah,
in my opinion. There's so many young kids that are really good. I don't think he was one of them.
yeah.
he was good
Um,
at the end. He's good at
Yes,
the
yeah,
at
end.
yeah,
our
yeah, yeah. That
when he
last
was in
scene.
when he was in Arlington, that was good. That he did some good acting, but the other parts of the movie, I don't think he did. I really don't.
Well, let's put it this way: if there's any more movies that we'll see him in, if he hasn't gotten any better under Denzel Washington's directions, then we know
Right,
he's not gonna be around much
right.
longer. I think.
Yeah, true. So
But
I
do you think this movie should have got a higher rating than a 5.8?
I
No.
think 5.8 is probably about right, just because of
Yep.
the length. If it was shorter, I think it would have been a solid 6.
yeah.
Yep.
You think about this, how many people stopped watching it after the first, because really it dragged. I watched 40 minutes of it and I had to go somewhere. And at the end of that 40 minutes, I was like, I got to go back and finish this. The last half of it, I actually liked much more than the first half of it. And again, we are building, developing. You're trying to do that. I, I was
I always
expecting
feel
more of a
that.
war.
Go ahead.
But I felt like this movie, it's a love story, number one, first and foremost. It was about parenting skills and parenting and being a parent. And then to me, another aspect of it is our legacy. Was some of the thing that came in my mind is our legacy, and this journal was a legacy that he was leaving his son. And then I try to reflect on how that goes to me in my own life, and I think about, as a parent, my legacy is what I impress on my children and what they learn from me and what they take away to
Yeah,
become better people.
true.
That part of the story, this movie, that aspect of it, I can see it hit home because I got a little choked up right near to the end. Um, and it was because I was reflecting on my own impact on my own kids. And I think that's, to me, that was a takeaway from the movie. It's like, you need to make sure you're an impression on your kids
Mm.
and what you do. And even though he wasn't with his son at all, really, except for what, a few days or a week or
Yep.
whatever, when he was home on leave, but he's going to make an impression on his son for his son's whole life.
Mm.
So, quantity of time doesn't mean quality of time that you spend with your kids.
Right. I just always feel that when it comes to watching a movie, I have to be in the right frame of mind to watch it, because otherwise, I just get aggravated with it and say, no, I just don't care about it. So that's why a lot of times I will give it a second try, you
Mm-hmm.
know, because I'm
So,
I'm watch so many different things,
yeah.
and I don't want to, because I got something else in my mind. I try to go with it as clear as I can when I'm gonna watch it.
I think that you guys' point, and as we all have different views when we watch these movies because we're not watching them together. And your point about if they would have done this story as a reflection from, as the son, like, let's say the mother at the very beginning gave him the book at age 12. Let's say after those kids beat him up, right?
Yep.
Mm.
And they beat him up for not being black enough. So which I don't think I must have missed that part why he wasn't black enough, and I couldn't figure out if that was Michael B. Jordan's character or what.
Michael
So,
B. Jordan's mother was light
Yeah.
skinned.
okay, all right. So
Mhm.
I was like, that must have been part where I dozed off or I wasn't paying attention. Um, but I felt if you would have done like you said, what if it would have been she handed him that book when he got beat up, and then they're going through it, and he's doing flashbacks
Mhm.
of when they met, when they had met, and the different. I think that would have made such a more impacting and more story to hold your attention than the way that they told the story. So that's a good point. I never thought about that, Andrew. If they would have laid it out differently, it probably would have been a better movie. And being telling the same story, you know, but just telling it a different way.
Hmm. I just thought that because I was getting. That's how I wasn't into it as much until it got to the bit where it started doing that, and then it was more interesting to me. So I just wish
Yeah.
I had been like that for the whole thing, and then I probably would have enjoyed it a bit more.
Especially with the name of the movie.
I don't know if you guys have any career military people in your immediate
Yeah.
families
Yeah.
or not,
Yeah.
but I do, and when it just makes things like this special to me when you see good soldiers, because my brother was and is a good soldier. You know, it changes a person, and it, I, I I don't know what I'm trying to say. I really don't know what I'm trying to say.
Well, you're right, Roger, because my father
Yeah.
was in the military, and my mother told me that after the war, my father wasn't the same.
Right, absolutely,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely.
And the way that my father brought me up was based, I think, mainly on the way he was treated in the army.
Yeah.
In other words, you got to fend for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Well,
all
should
right.
we vote on this one?
Yeah, I was going to say, did anybody else have
Yeah, sure.
anything else to throw out there? Any comments before we?
I just love the loving advice that he gave his son.
Yeah,
I thought it meant so much,
I wish
really.
they would have imparted more of that to us because they really only did
Yeah,
it twice. You know.
right, right.
And
And
Southern Girl here.
and it's just like, yeah,
I was
and
going to
it's like
just
they
mention.
never. Okay, go ahead.
No, you finish. Finish it. Finish it. I'm
Oh,
sorry. I interrupted you.
and I think what I thought was really pretty good in this movie was, before, Michael Jordan had died, and it was just like, you weren't expecting that IUD like that, and
IED, by the way.
that was real.
I
Yeah.
I
I'm sorry. IUD.
IUD takes out babies.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry.
Keeps from having.
Uh,
Yeah.
keeps from. And it was just so quick, so sudden, and that's what it's like. And
Yeah.
most people would never realize that. And you're just going along, and then you're gone, And I thought
Yeah.
that they did that really well. I really think that they did. Um, okay, go ahead. Let's vote.
I was going to say that my cousin, who was a career military in the army in transportation, and had a platoon of guys, and they moved equipment and items from one point to, and he was in Iraq and Iran, or Iraq and Afghanistan, all those for years, and actually his Humvee ran over one of those, and ended up with issues with his leg and had to go get surgery. And his big takeaway, he wanted to get back to his guys. And that was one of the things with Michael B. Jordan, so he couldn't leave his
True.
guys.
Yep.
And my cousin was the same way. He wanted to get back to his guys because he felt like he was away from his guys. That brotherhood.
Mhm.
So that it shows, to me. And was one of the things I saw Southern Tech gal wrote. It said huge respect for military wives too. They go through a lot because you think about it. They're sitting at home waiting on pins and needles. Every phone
Yeah.
call, every time that phone rings, is this the ring? It's very true.
That's why I was trying to get people to pick We Were Soldiers. It's got a good
Yeah.
It does.
military wives story to it.
It does. A great movie, by the way, Andrew. That is a
It
good
is.
movie.
Yeah.
Even though
Uh,
Mel Gibson's in it.
Yeah, but that was when he was.
You don't like
That's
Mel?
when he wasn't controversial and he was good.
Right, right. I don't like his political views.
I don't
No.
look at his political views. I look at it because I'm a big fan of Mad Max. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
me too.
I can't take that away from him. You know.
Yeah.
So, all right,
I-
let's go ahead and vote so we can get on to the TV stuff, and we'll have time to talk about a little bit of the all the stuff that's happened this week towards the Oscars and stuff. So, play or pass would be play means that you would recommend this to a friend or family member because you want them to see this. Pass would be that you don't want your name on this. You don't want your friend coming back cussing you out about you wasted 2 hours and 2 minutes of their time. So, so that's play or pass. So we're gonna run through the panel. You guys over in the side chat, Patty and Sandy, you guys post away of what your thought play or pass for this. Roger, what is your thoughts, play or pass?
It's the softest of plays, and I would have to preface any recommendation that I gave somebody that they could probably skip the first half hour of the movie without missing too much of the story.
All right, good. All right, Eddie.
Well, I'd recommend it because it's a true story. So I give it a play.
Okay, good. Thank you. Andrew.
I'm literally the only person in the poll that voted pass, and not
That's
because
fine.
I didn't like it. I did like it. I liked the movie and I liked the acting and I liked the story, but I just think it was just a little bit too long-winded in the beginning, so I wouldn't like. It's not something I particularly would recommend to somebody, but I didn't hate it.
Good point. Good point. We got a lot of soft plays over here
Yeah,
on the
same.
side chat too. So, all right, Alvin,
Yeah.
what do you think?
I'm a play.
Okay,
I'm
give
a
it a
play.
play. And I'll give it a play to the right people. I think Roger and I talked about this the other day that it's hard to not give play to a movie that makes you cry.
Yeah.
It because it does kind of pull at you. You do kind of get choked up on it. So if a movie gets you enough like that, it's hard to say don't watch it. But again, I think that I'd have to pick and choose who I suggest this to. Certain people I think would really like it, and I think I would not recommend this to my son. To be honest, I mean my son would be like he wouldn't get through 15 minutes of this movie.
Right.
So so I'd give it a very like if most people said in here, I give it a play, but I give it a soft play. Select groups only. Play if you're bored. So yeah, I think we're getting people didn't hate it, but definitely kind of had to drag through it. So
It did make me
what's the
cry.
yeah?
It did make me cry. So.
I didn't even look on the poll, Alban or Andrew.
7-1.
Okay, so that's on the
Yeah.
Telegram poll, so you can
Yeah,
vote
Telegram
for them.
poll.
So yeah, but hey, I'm not scared to put a pass on a movie if I don't like it, even if everybody else likes it. I'm like, I don't like it. So let's go ahead. Where are we at on the poll for the movies for next week? Did that change any?
I just looked. Well, I just got to
Hold on.
time here.
Affirm
the,
is still 29.
Fern.
Come on, young Frankenstein.
Up in smoke.
Frankenstein.
Yeah, it is Frankenstein. You are correct.
Up in smoke and the firm.
Yeah, up in smoke. And the
Okay,
Firm,
Up in
looks like.
Smoke and the Firm. So
Did you hear Andrew? He's so upset. About
yeah,
Up in
yeah, I
Smoke.
know.
Andrew, you need to, like enjoy some older movies. We really got to get you to start enjoying them.
Yeah. So
This is,
I want to throw
Well,
out
yeah,
that-
you're giving us plenty of opportunity.
Well, hey, listen.
all-
I gave everyone the opportunity to send me stuff, and that's why I went and asked. And,
For all of the younger people out there, you should all watch Canadian Bacon,
yes, definitely.
Young Frankenstein, and Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid because you will laugh your asses off.
Yeah.
definitely Canadian Bacon.
Yeah.
And that Frankenstein is another.
Yeah.
That's a classic. But I don't know. But the other thing about Frankenstein are people going to get the humor?
As well.
Are people going to get the humor?
I haven't watched it in about 10 years.
Yeah,
so I
exactly.
don't know.
Exactly.
Of which one, Frankenstein?
Yeah, I don't know if people would get that.
Might not. They might not get it. They're not gonna take it the same way we are, you
Mhm.
know. But we, as the older group, would know that we watched that movie. We're gonna still crack up just like we did when we first saw it.
Maybe.
You got me an abnormal brain.
Abby Normal?
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see how that.
Oh boy.
So, well, now the vote keeps changing, but we're gonna stick with the firm, right? Because I saw that it's jumped up tie, but we're gonna stick with the
Oh,
firm.
did it die?
It's a tie, so I don't. We can't do
Die?
3
Okay.
movies.
No.
We're
So
gonna
I
rock,
saw it
paper,
just
scissors
changed.
for it.
It just changed.
Yeah. Who's
Um,
playing here?
So,
Well, I
so we
picked
got.
the firm, and
picked Firm?
Roger picked Young Frankenstein. So we can do 1, 2, 3. You close your eyes, then 1, 2, 3, go.
And Andrew, I'll just say you win because The Firm is a great movie as well.
Yeah.
I don't mind. Oh wait,
Yeah,
no,
we'll go-
it's
we're
it,
go-
no,
yeah, we're
it's
going with-
it's Young
It's Young
Frankenstein. It's
Frankenstein.
33% now. Somebody's just
Yeah.
right.
someone
Okay, we'll go
voted.
with them too. We'll go with the 2 that's been picked. I'm not forcing the
Well,
vote.
movies should change.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Somebody's.
it's Frankenstein.
People are taking their votes off of some of the other stuff. That
Some
wasn't
people
Yeah.
really
like
want
Bad
me to
News
watch
Bears just lost votes.
these movies.
All right.
I think you'll enjoy it though, Andrew. I really
So we're
do.
going Young Frankenstein, because we're gonna stop the vote.
And Up in
Young
Smoke.
Frankenstein and Up in Smoke. Young Frankenstein and Up in Smoke. Hold on a second. I'll pull those up. A couple things. Let's see. Somebody had something over here. Oh, Denzel. This was not Denzel's first, because he did the one where he was in the backyard. That was a play.
Yeah.
What was
Yeah.
that?
Fence.
The one he was
Oh
in.
yeah,
Fence.
yeah.
I loved Fence.
I did
thought
too.
Fence.
I thought it was
I
great.
thought Fence was a phenomenal movie. I thought they did it in the backyard and inside the house, and one time on the front porch.
Yeah.
That was all the scenes. That was it.
Mhm.
It had a great script. It was all dialogue.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope I need to put that on the list.
That was based on a play.
Yes, it was a play. It
Yeah.
was a Hollywood or a Broadway play. Yeah, and Denzel directed that. I'm sure he's directed some others, but I know he directed that one because he stars in it too. So, so the 2 movies, Young Frankenstein. So, let me grab. Let's see. I'm gonna pull up the things for you guys. So we'll. So you can't say I didn't know what that picture was. We got this. So let's see here, and then we'll start chit chatting about some of the other stuff. Share. All right, so this is Up in Smoke, Cheech and Chong. Okay, so and there's so many quotes that's in this. There's so many quotes in this. It is great, and I will say I've seen all the Cheech and Chong movies. By far, this is the best.
Yeah.
Cheech and Chong's next movie would be the number 2 to me.
Yeah.
So you're gonna.
And
if
then
you're
Nice Dreams. Nice Dreams
Yeah.
is after that.
Yeah.
But this album, this comedy album, Up in Smoke, came with a huge freaking rolling paper the size of a 33 RPM record. It was the exact same size. You took out the rolling paper and it folded in half. It was huge. In college, I put a quarter pound of weed in one of those fucking rolling papers.
So for you kids that don't know what an album is, it's like a real big CD.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a real big CD, and it came with its own. It came with its own art. If you open it up, and yes, it had to open up. It was like the album. It wasn't just a sleeve. You actually opened it up, and it was a. My friend had that. We used to listen to it, and we would recite the movie.
Yep.
Like sit there and recite the movie.
Yep.
Well, I shouldn't say the movie because we were listening to the record.
It's
So,
Dave, man, open the door.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's. Yeah.
Oh,
I want to
gosh.
hear now. See. For the potheads, I think that they'll enjoy this movie. Definitely catch a buzz if you're somebody that drinks or smokes. Do that before you watch Up in Smoke. You probably enjoy it a whole lot better. And then again, Young Frankenstein is this other Mel Brooks movie, and I'm curious how well this is going to hold up. I'm not holding much out. I'm not.
Is it black and white?
Yeah, it's black and white. It's in my trio of all-time favorite black and white movies.
Yep, it
Young
sure is.
Frankenstein,
Mm-hmm.
Clerks, and Dead Men
Okay.
Don't Wear Plaid.
A bit of a challenge.
So yeah,
It's-
you'll see.
It's shot beautifully in black and white, though, Andrew. It's
Yeah.
it's
1970 what?
74.
I was a baby. I was just like a 6-year-old running around. All right, so we got that. So that's the first part. So those are the 2 movies for you guys to watch next week. Please watch them because we got to watch them. You should watch them too. I mean, we had to sit through each week. We have to sit through these movies, and believe me, there's times I was
You
actually
have
doing.
no
I called it
idea.
grind. Oh yeah, I know.
I
You
sat
do
through 16, so
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah, so we can't complain. Well, that's right.
Yeah,
I had
you can't
I had
complain.
time to play putt-putt. So,
Yep.
so let's go ahead. Now we usually go into the overtime, and this is where we talk about current movies or TV shows or other current events that are not involved in the 2 movies that we just covered this week. And we had the Oscars this week. So, hey, let me start with Andrew because Andrew's usually chomping at the bit about some new shows and new things for people to be. Nothing this week.
No, I haven't even watched the new
wow.
Boba Fett episode yet.
So good,
I'll
Andrew.
watch that
It's
tomorrow.
so good.
I might cram one of these movies in tomorrow, just so so it's out the way, and I don't put it off. If I put it off, I'll be like, oh god, I've got to watch a black and white movie.
Well, if you're gonna listen, Andrew, be in a happy mood when you watch it. You know.
Yeah.
Really,
Oh,
It's
you'll
comedy.
really enjoy it. It's
Yeah, I
comedy.
haven't got the
slapstick comedy.
tools. I haven't got the tools to get in that kind of a mood.
Have you ever watched a Mel Brooks movie before, or anything that Mel Brooks has done?
I don't. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head if I have.
Spaceballs. You had to have seen Spaceballs.
I bet not.
You haven't seen
I
Spaceballs?
bet he hasn't.
Oh
He's
my
got- he-
I
god!
bet he didn't. Nope, he
I
didn't.
bet you.
I'm of a certain generation.
I know. That's,
Yeah,
I mean,
and we're trying to show you the right way to movies.
I can't
Well,
believe
I
you
will
haven't
say-
seen
Saddles.
um,
Blazing
Okay, you did
Saddles.
see Blazing Saddles.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I've seen Robin
That's
Hood.
Brooks.
Men in Tights. Very funny.
Men in Tights. Did you like those?
Yeah. I like Blazing
Okay.
So
Saddles.
then you'll understand his
His sense of humor.
his sense of humor.
so let's go ahead and talk about. I will say I did watch Jack Reacher this week, the new version, the new one that they have out. I think is that Netflix or Hulu or
That's
I don't
somebody.
know.
I think it's
is it
Netflix.
Hulu or they just. I think it's
the
Netflix.
new
'cause
the new
they,
the new Reacher.
They
Reacher.
just the Reacher. They just approved the second season.
And I'll say that I'm not again with this kind of espionage and all that stuff. I'll be honestly, that stuff tends to turn me off. This movie actually really held my attention, and Blue, or TV show, held my attention. Blue loved it. Now she is a reader of books, so she's read a lot of these books. And one of the complaints that she had was Tom Cruise was no Reacher. She's like, he's not even close to Reacher. They should have never, in the movie. She says he was that was not a good cast. She says this guy played what Reacher, what Jack Reacher should have been. He was a big, intimidating, smart, dry sense of humor. He was what the book was. He was his character. And so one of the things she said in this show, she loved it. And she was like, "That's Jack Reacher right there. That is who he should be." And it held my attention. I'll say it's definitely worth somebody watching. Amazon, I guess.
Thanks, Jim.
Jim says, Yeah, I knew I'd seen it on one of the services because it's being promoted constantly. But definitely something to watch. I don't know if you guys would watch it.
Power Book 4 came out this week, didn't it?
The what?
Power Book 4.
Power Book.
Yeah.
Yep.
Force. Yeah,
I've got
that came out.
I've got the last episode of Boba Fett to watch, and then I was considering watching All of Us Are Dead on Netflix. Oh, that's like a Korean movie series.
It's a teenager show, right, Andrew?
Yeah. It's like dead zombies in a school or something like that.
Yeah. Wasn't this all? Oh, so this I could have swore this. Was there an American version of this?
I don't think so.
I swear it feels like it that they're all like they're trapped in a mall or at a school or something. I don't know. I want to say that I thought this was something else, but
Day of the
yeah,
Dead
all
or
of us are dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's on Netflix.
Anybody watch the last episode of Euphoria? There's a lot
Not
of
yet.
criticism around about that. That's some crazy going on there.
Yeah, I didn't. That movie I have not. It's not grabbed me. I will say that the Peacemaker.
I
I
love
swear,
it.
if you got to have a little bit of a dry sense of humor.
Yeah.
You can't be too oversensitive.
I need to watch that next as well.
This, I mean, his character. If you watched it in the Suicide Squad, this he takes off and runs with this character, which I thought he would. Because remember when they were doing all the promos for Suicide Squad, he was wearing the uniform every time he went to these things,
Yeah.
and you've got to have a little bit of a dry sense of humor. If you're kind of squeamish, you may not, because they use some bad language. It's HBO Max, a lot of bad language and
A lot of graphic violence.
John Cena needs to stick to action comedies. That's where he's best. That's what he's best at.
Absolutely.
I think his timing is really good.
I do too.
Yeah.
But
he's a
but he's
wrestler.
kind of but he's pigeonholed. He can't be an actor or a comedian in a lot of different stuff. He's pigeonholed into
Unless
this
he does
role,
himself.
but he does a great job at that. I mean, so be who you are, and you'll keep getting paid. Try to be somebody else, you ain't.
The story,
the
story's good in this too, I think.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if anybody that's been watching it. So go ahead, somebody else.
I put up there the some of the canceled shows right now. There's a bunch of them there that some of them I just didn't think were gonna go.
I know what you did last summer. God, that didn't last long.
Yeah, I know. A lot of them, and a lot of that is Netflix, because you know how Netflix is. That was Amazon. I'm sorry. But
we
Netflix
see all these scrolling canceled shows, and then if you look up, you see the Curse of Oak Island. It's in season 7. They still haven't found 1 ounce of freaking gold.
You're right. Yeah.
Like
that's
Showtime.
Gold Rush.
Showtime canceled that American Rust, and
that was only one season of that.
and that was I liked it. I liked that one.
They needed to can't. Did anybody watch that Ellen's Games?
No.
I watched one or maybe a half an episode.
I've watched a bunch of them.
It was uncomfortable. It was it was uncomfortable to watch it. It was just
they do that with a lot of other shows now. It's like, what was that other one there that what's her name was doing where Hollywood Game Night?
Yeah.
That has anyone watched that? Because that one is pretty good, and it's the same.
Yeah,
type of
well,
concept.
that one I have watched. I mean, it's Hollywood Squares, or it's some of those.
Yeah.
So they're a little bit more game. This game on the Game of Games, she had them doing stupid shit. The games that they were doing was just completely stupid, and they're physical kind of challenges. And her I don't know. It was like she wasn't very good as a host. In the way she was just kind of awkward and just. I'm watching. I'm thinking I can't even take this. So I'm kind of glad that they got rid of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a little upset if 90 Day Fiance, and actually I'm starting to kind of grow.
Did you watch the tell-all?
No, I can't tell you. I won't tell you what.
Come back to me when you
watching.
watch something like that.
So, hey, what's some other? I know.
Okay, I got some other stuff here.
Oh, okay, all right.
I got there's hold on, I'm trying to kill that.
You check out any more Tom and Pammy dabs?
Yeah, that's what was one of my things there. I didn't know.
I'm enjoying
anyone's been watching it.
Yeah,
I wanted to watch it.
Seth Rogen is so good in it.
Yeah.
Tom and Pam and Tommy
Family Comics.
If you're in the U.S., you have to watch it on Hulu, I think.
Yeah, I
And
think
if
so.
you're in the UK, it's Disney Plus, which I can't
blows
believe
my mind.
that the Disney
Yeah.
Plus. So Andrew can watch that because you got Disney Plus,
Yeah.
don't you, bud?
Yeah, it's on my list.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Um,
sorry. Go.
I was just telling my
now,
partner about that.
Mission Impossible, 7 and 8 are being planned to serve as a send off for Tom Cruise.
Oh, I thought they did that in
as
the
Ethan
first
Hunt.
one.
Another show. I can't.
um, they're it's described as a culmination of the entire series. I think that's why that they put um, uh, the part of the reason that Mission Impossible 7 was delayed to 2023 is because the film ends on a cliffhanger, and Tom Cruise wants to finish making the eighth film before releasing the seventh to ensure the transition between the film is seamless. So that's the reason why that's going on with that. So anyone knows who might be interested. For all those Mandalorian fans out there,
Mm.
uh, according to TV Line, Mandalorian season 3 is likely to premiere around Christmas 2022.
Oh, I thought it premiered episode 5 of Boba Fett.
Yeah, me too. There's been so many good memes for that.
Yeah.
Look at me, this is my show now.
Hey, Sandy asked, "Is anyone watching Married at First Sight?" I haven't watched that. Have any of you guys
No,
watched?
I don't. I don't watch it. I watched one episode when it first came out, but I don't watch it. Sorry.
Yeah, that's. I haven't caught that one. Hasn't grabbed me yet.
I'll
Thousand Pound
watch.
Sisters has though.
Yeah, I know you like that one. I like Sister Wives. I like Sister Wives.
Obi-Wan.
It's finally gotten good, you know.
It's because they're getting divorced.
All of them are looking to run. All of them finally looking to leave the guy. So it's crazy now.
Andrew,
another
hold
thing
on, Andrew. Andrew was trying to say something.
Oh no, I was gonna ask, is Obi-Wan that's coming out soon, isn't it? Is that September or that's before Mandalorian? Roger, you're muted.
Thanks, Andrew. I'm pretty sure that it's done with production. It's in post production now, so I think it's
Obi-Wan?
all
It's
in
coming
the
out
can.
this year though, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
A show that's coming back in the UK is Top Boy in March.
Yeah,
What was it?
Top Boy.
Top Boys?
Top Boy.
Oh, Tough Boys. Oh, okay.
No,
Top
Top Boy.
Boy.
Oh, Top. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Hold on.
Is that
English.
is that a young man exploring his sexual?
No. About gangs in London.
Oh,
In
okay.
gangs in
Is
London.
it? Wait. Has this been around for 10 years?
No,
No,
it's been
2 years.
2 years. It's
2 years.
going into season 4.
All right. Hold on. I was looking at.
But it's British seasons for like 6 episodes per.
Yeah, I know, right? 4 sometimes.
Okay.
4 episodes,
Oh,
and that's a
okay.
season. That's why they.
Good one to watch.
Yeah.
Jim says May 25th for Obi-Wan.
Okay.
Okay.
I thought it was
God
later
almighty,
in the year.
I'm a little bit disgusted by that. Why can't it should always be May the 4th.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I got March the 15th. Who's supposed to come up?
Hey, you know what we didn't talk about?
Guess it depends on the country.
Eddie's kids movie getting
Oh,
clobbered
Moonfall.
at the box office.
yeah, I heard about it. Yeah,
Which one?
Moonfall. His Eddie's kids
Oh,
worked
Moonfall.
on that.
And
Well,
We're not going to judge your kids on the movie.
no,
no,
Take
no,
it personal.
But the reason why every time Roland Emmerich comes out with a movie, he's always criticized badly because he's the independent guy in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason why everybody's putting him down.
he just came out on the Marvel movies are ruining cinema train as well.
Yeah,
he
he did.
I've seen this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw
And
that also.
I don't think he has any room to talk. All he makes is the Earth is getting destroyed movies. How does
Right.
that add to cinematography?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure
Well,
that it'll be pulled. I'm sure we'll be watching it on this show at some
Yeah.
point.
well, I
Yeah.
watched a little bit of the cam shot on that, and well, I had to turn it off because the cam shot was so bad.
Yeah.
But my kids want to go see it in the theaters.
Yeah.
The theaters only open up on the 14th of March.
Oh, okay.
So,
You think it's
yeah,
going to be canceled by then?
I don't think so.
Stop showing it before then.
Yeah, right.
You got 5 days.
Yeah.
Hopefully the critics don't bash it too much.
For all of you Ozark fans, since Ozark is in the midst of, I
Yes.
guess, mid-season now,
Mid-season.
and
Yep.
if you miss your Julia Garner, you can see her coming Friday in Inventing Anna, new show.
It's on my sonar
Yeah, it's on
already.
mine too.
Inventing Anna.
Yeah,
Which was a crazy
Cool.
story when it broke
Yeah.
about 2 years ago, I suppose. So
hmm
it'll be an interesting story. I always
Yeah.
like people that can pull the wool over the the
Mhm.
1%'s eyes real quick.
Yeah. Let's see here. What else we got here? What do we got? Oh, the elephant in the room there. The Oscar snubs and surprises. What do you
Yeah.
guys think?
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
did you see Bruce Willis
Yeah, I was
Ha-
going to mention. I was going to mention
has
that.
his own category in the Razzies this year?
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
He made 8 films that are all nominated for Razzies.
Oh
Hmm.
God.
And we've
Oh.
talked about that. We've talked about that on the
Uh-huh.
show numerous times, and I'm a hater on him, but Bruce Willis. But he's just made so many movies. He's the new Nicolas Cage. It's just like he chunks out movies just to
He's
chunk
just
out
not bad
movies,
now, is he?
and it's like who cares? Just like a paycheck, and
It's a
and it
I
was
paycheck.
wonder
like,
what it. I
and he's
wonder
got
what his
that many
minimum
coming out
is.
this year.
I wonder what his minimum is to appear.
I don't know.
It's got to be a couple 100,000. You would think, right? It's Bruce frickin'
Uh,
Willis.
Hmm.
Yeah. It's got to be more than that. No, he's getting money to do some of these movies. Well, not money like 13 million, but
Right.
he's getting more than
I
anyone else, and that's acting with him. He's a
I know
top villa.
right. He has to have a minimum that he'll appear for,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and whatever his minimum is, if he got it at least 8 times this year alone.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
so he's which one of us is a silly person?
Yeah. He getting paid. I mean,
Right.
yeah.
Yep.
And he's got. I said he's got almost that many movies coming out this year. When Blue and I were talking about it one day, and I said he's just cranking out movies over the last few years, and he has. But it's like this coming year, what movies that says 2022? It was about 6 or 7. I'm like, that man was working. Nobody else in
Mhm.
Hollywood was working during the
No, he
Right.
wasn't
pandemic.
working.
Right.
He was working.
Showed up for one day.
He was working.
I
Did
don't
his
know.
scenes in one day and then left.
Right.
I
I
think
don't know
that's
if
what he
he's
did on
married.
some of them.
Is he married again? I can't remember, but he
I
must
don't know
not
if
like
he's
his
married
wife
again.
if he is.
Yeah.
No, honestly, I
Yeah.
did read that on a couple of the movies. He literally was like, he filmed, he shot all his scenes in like one day, and then he was gone.
Yeah, I don't
Like,
doubt that.
I had a laugh when I was reading it on Twitter about the Razzie nominations thing, because some of the comments from people, one of the comments from someone was like, Bruce Willis did 8 movies last year. Yeah,
Wow.
but they're all straight to DVD.
Mm-hmm.
Just looking
You
now.
think I wonder why, he's why is he not doing nothing blockbuster anymore? Is it
I
just
mean, man, no,
nobody
you got to
wants
get.
him? Or?
Yeah, nobody
Because-
wants you, I guess.
Well, no. Well,
Or he's not
they
interested?
figured that they're not interested in him. They want to, have some of these other people, these higher names. It's not like no one's rushing out to even watch a Schwarzenegger or a
Stallone movie. Yeah.
Right. No one's rushing out to see any of them. You know
These
what
guys
I mean?
are in their 70s now.
Right. They're in their 70s, but they would
Yeah.
still do something.
Yeah.
You know, they would still, if somebody offered them something to do, they're going to go do it. I'll assure you. You know.
I think but there's like people like oh, what's his name? What's their names? Dustin Hoffman and that is like they're
Mhm.
gradually transitioned into like comedy stuff, like with Meet the Fuckers and Meet Your Parents, and,
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and that kind of worked well. I figured some of these older like actors would do the same kind of thing, but I guess not. They just want to
Yeah,
keep pumping out
They
straight
can't
to
act
DVD.
is the problem.
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
that
True.
and they want this leading role, and
Yeah.
you think of like you were saying, Dustin Hoffman playing in that part wasn't a leading role. I mean, it was kind of a supporting actor role.
The supporting.
Whereas he's more of an acting. I count up. You're right. It was 8 movies in 2021, and in 2022, 1, 2, 3, 4,
Was
5,
13 or
6,
something.
7, 8 more posts. It says 2022. So this year he's gonna have another 8. So that'd be 16 movies in 2
Wow.
years. I mean, I said, I guess
Mhm.
go ahead, work hard, should get that money before you leave, but please just come up with something a little bit better. I mean, just it's because there's a lot of people that love some Bruce Willis.
I was
Yeah.
talking to one of my kids, and he's actually in 3 or 4 of my all-time favorite movies.
Yeah.
So he does have acting chops, you
Yep.
know.
Yeah.
And
Armageddon.
also, Moonlighting was a great TV show.
Yeah.
A great show. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You couldn't have seen a single episode of that, have you, Andrew?
I've watched every
Andrew.
episode.
Oh, have you really?
No kidding.
Wow.
Really? Wow. I'm shocked.
I like Bruce Willis.
Okay. Oh, so do I. You know, but have you watched all of those other 8 Razzies?
No, I haven't seen a
I've
single
not
one.
watched,
No,
I've not
I've
watched a
seen-
single
I
one.
have.
I've seen
I
2.
think I've seen everything.
I've
I
seen
had
2.
to see
I was
just
like,
about everything because I watch it all. My sonar, goes by my actors also. You know.
They're literally the only one that he's done that like not recently-ish that I had an interest in watching was Death Wish, but then I never ended up watching it.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I
No,
did
that
see
one
Glass
wasn't too
though.
bad. Yeah, Glass, and
It
it
was
had
I
the
did-
worst of the 3.
I did watch Glass, so yeah.
that was that 21 or 20? But
It
yeah,
was 19.
Oh, it's 19. Okay. I those 3 movies, that Glass series, I enjoyed that.
Yeah, the third one was like not as good though.
No.
All right.
Let's
Let's talk about some of those snubs.
All right.
Lady Gaga for House of Gucci.
Yeah.
Have you guys watched that movie?
No.
Not yet. I didn't watch it
I
yet.
haven't watched it either.
No one's came to my house with a gun and a copy of it yet.
Right. All right. Well, how about Jennifer Hudson in Respect?
I didn't watch that one.
I didn't
so
watch that movie
You
either.
know,
Eddie, right now, did Eddie watch that movie? You know, it was a
Yes.
musical.
No,
Yeah,
my wife watched it.
All right. What did she think of that movie?
She liked it.
Okay.
I had to get up the group.
Dennis Villeneuve for directing Dune. I was
Dune.
shocked that he didn't get one for directing Dune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Dune got a lot of.
It did get
was
a lot.
A lot of the visuals.
Yep.
The songs.
Yeah, but they should have gotten
Screenplay.
some for direction.
Yeah, but the director got nominated.
I
Denis
was-
Villeneuve.
I was
He got-
surprised. Go ahead, Ed. Sorry.
Denis Villeneuve got nominated for Dune.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think he was snubbed
For Best Picture? Or Best Director?
for director. For director.
Well, I would look in Telegram, but there's 42 frickin' posts of weed. So I can't do that.
Yeah, you got to go to the pin the show.
Yeah,
all
it's
of
on
them
the side.
on the right. Catriona Ball for Belfast.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to
Dune
watch that
snub.
movie because
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to watch that too.
Yeah, everyone's saying it's great. I'm waiting for the right moment to watch it, and every time I get ready to sit down and watch it, I'm like, no, not yet. It's not the right time, and it's something I really want to watch.
I'm
But
surprised
I had
Cruella didn't get
Cruella.
screenplay,
Nope.
original
Yeah.
screenplay.
Yeah. I thought. I mean, what we talked about that Cruella only got nominated for
Visual
songs.
stuff.
Song. I think. I think they're. I'm trying to think. I thought that one of the songs. No. Well, the original. No.
They got it for costume design.
Gosh, yeah.
God, what else? It was all
It was all.
visual
Oh,
shit.
yeah. You're right. It was. It was all the makeup.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought
Yeah,
that movie
because
had a
it's
great script.
Yep.
Should have got actress in this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Licorice Pizza. I haven't watched that yet.
I haven't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everyone-
I don't.
they
I
are-
haven't even gotten it yet. That
I-
that's the.
I think it's
Yeah.
Oscar bait. From what I'm
Oh.
reading
Yeah.
about it,
You look up.
it's just
Yeah.
a controversial topic that they're handling with kid gloves. You know,
Uh-huh.
and if the genders were switched on it, it wouldn't be appropriate, type of thing. You know.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what about Power of Dog? I know that's been out. We wasn't. We
We
didn't
spoke
vote it
of
in,
that.
but I saw it on the list.
But
It's
I
got a
didn't
lot.
watch it,
I
and
mean,
I'm-
I was looking. It was an actor. There was a lot of people. Kristen Dunst is in
Yeah,
that.
Jesse Plemons,
Jesse. Yeah.
Cumberbatch.
I mean, it was.
And
it
I
was.
hated it.
The Power of the Dog. I think I went to school with the director, Roger Frappier.
Really.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was in the same school I went to. Not in my class, but it was in the same school.
All right.
I have to look up my yearbook, see if he's in there.
Yeah. There's
DiCaprio
it-
didn't get anything for Don't Look Up.
Yeah.
No, and he
Expecting
was
him to
awesome.
get something.
That.
Right.
But that movie wasn't nominated that many times either.
No.
It was nominated. It only
Nope.
got a couple nominations, not
I
many.
think
Which
Mhm.
that movie was so. I don't know.
Polarizing.
Yeah, it didn't get nominated as many places as I thought, but I think like you said, it's polarizing. You're either going to fall on one side or the other.
Yeah.
And to me,
Mhm.
it's kind of tough to wear that that balance.
They're
But
saying,
I was very
Alan Sorkin-
disappointed.
Yeah, go
I
on.
was disappointed on the actress for Coda was not a leading actress, nominated for
Mhm.
leading actor.
Right.
I think they got Troy for supporting actor.
He's the deaf father, right?
Mhm.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah,
So he got
yeah.
nominated, but the girl didn't. I would have
The
thought
daughter
she would have
didn't.
definitely gotten. I mean, that was
Something.
a really.
Even for her singing, for the
No.
main song, nothing. Alan Sorkin for doing the screenplay for being the Ricardos, nothing.
Mhm.
And I don't even know why, West Side Story is even up
Yeah.
for any of that stuff. None of us really liked it, but it still made stuff. Jared
Musicals
Leto,
always do. I mean, they
Gotta
always
have
get the
one musical
nominations.
in.
Yeah, I mean, every year they do the same thing. It's like, oh, that big musical.
Yep.
They
And
could have
everyone gets
replaced
all-
it with
But
Cruella.
with
That was
Coda.
more-
Right.
Yeah.
a Cruella or Coda. Yeah.
Yeah, but the documentary Summer of Soul is nominated.
Yeah, I did
Yeah,
see that.
yeah,
I saw
yeah.
I
that.
love that one, but West Side Story, I never got into it.
Yeah.
Why would anybody watch this one? The original is still a beautiful movie. If you
Oh,
want to
yeah.
watch West Side Story, watch the frickin' original.
Yeah.
Leonard Bernstein, that was a good musical director.
It's
Kate
sometimes when you
Blanchett
watch
was
it,
left
it's-
out for supporting actress. That was a snub. They snubbed Ariana Grande for that song in "Don't Look Up,"
Yep.
Yeah.
and the ones that were surprises, were like Kristen Stewart in Spencer. You know what I mean? Jesse
The
Buckley
Lost
and the
Daughter.
Lost Daughter. Yeah.
I was like, we watched The Lost Daughter.
We did.
And
We didn't
no,
watch
not,
it. Did we
not
watch
you.
it for the show?
Me and Blue.
I
no,
watched
me and
it.
Blue did. Me
Yeah,
and
I
Blue
watched
did.
it also.
And
I
she
liked
was
it.
like, she's like, it just, I don't know, just the the whole flow of the whole thing didn't go. Both of us were bored. She was working on some wood projects, messing with a drill during the whole time. She's
I
like, "This."
can't do something else like that while I'm trying to watch a movie.
And King Richard got all kinds of nominations, which I haven't watched yet, so I guess I
It's a
need to watch.
boring movie.
Yeah, I guess I got to watch it to find out why it got all these actors and actresses. So I don't know. Makes you wonder.
Belfast. What Belfast?
Belfast, yeah, that got nominated all up and down the thing.
Yeah.
Judi Dench was nominated for supporting, and it was.
Oh yeah.
And let's see.
Does anybody remember Drive My Car?
Nope.
No, I don't think it's out. I don't think that's out.
Maybe it's not out yet because I got 4 nominations.
And also, I wanted to say that it's a foreign movie. I think.
Oh.
I could be wrong. Let me look it up. Yeah, looks like a foreign movie. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, you can see that it come up. Yeah. Yeah, foreign movie.
Okay. Trying to remember that.
So I don't even know when it came out.
No, that was
there. It is.
It was right there at the top.
3 hours long.
Oh God.
3 hours long. Yeah. So yeah, see, it's gonna be all subtitles.
3-hour drama. I think I'll pass.
Yeah.
That's 7.9.
I'm gonna watch it just to see what the excitement of it is. Because it got nominated a lot of places too. So
I go out on a limb and say there's no excitement in the movie because it's a drama.
Yeah. Well,
not always. Not with those. Sometimes they could draw you in. Once they draw you in, if it's one of those things where they suck you into that movie, you'll be happy that you watched it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll give it a shot.
Did not resonate with me the second review.
I guess it's all in subtitles too, right?
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's keep an eye out for that one or not.
No.
But it's got a lot of excitement.
Who was the director on that again? Drive My Car?
Some guy.
Was he? Let's see if he's the same guy that did something else that we know.
Nope.
No.
Happy Hour. None of those. Yeah. But we've been watching a lot of. Blue's been watching a lot of Korean shows. She's actually got 1 or 2 that she's watching right now that seem to do really well. I mean, other than you happen to do you got to read the subtitles. But she's enjoying a lot of those Korean movies or shows.
Yeah, a lot of those stories are really pretty good. That it's like watching a Seinfeld episode where it all comes together, and you just don't see how that they were going to do that to you. That's what I like about a lot of them.
Oh yes, original song Belfast with Van.
And you see, there is no Space Jam in animated feature film.
And I watched Space Jam and it was not good. I mean, I don't know.
It was bad. It was bad.
Yeah. But I was hoping to see some. I guess I was wanting to relive the Michael Jordan one. Cause I was not a kid, but I was younger. And I remember I was like, that was neat how they kind of did all that.
I've seen all of these except for Flea.
Yeah. And that's a foreign one. That's another.
Okay.
So yeah, that's a.
How did you like Encanto?
It was good.
Okay. No, I just see like a billion people watching the thing off my machine. It's like.
Yeah, that to me was just okay. I need to go back and rewatch it. Yeah, I think I need to watch it again.
My favorite out of those that was listed there was probably the Mitchells versus the Machines, which was cute.
Okay.
Yeah, that's on Netflix, isn't it?
I don't know.
I believe it is.
It's on my Plex. That's how I watched it.
Anyway, gentlemen, it is 1 hour and 30 minutes into the show, and I am going to bed.
Night, Andrew. Good to see you, buddy.
I
It's in
didn't
the
want to
mix.
just abruptly
No.
leave like I did last time, but yes, it's
Go do your thing. We're getting ready. We're gonna get off anyways. All right,
Yeah.
Andrew. Have a good week. We'll see you on Wednesday.
good night, guys.
Night.
All right,
care.
all right.
Thanks, Herman. We'll go ahead. Anything you want to say, Eddie, before we go?
Oh no, a good show tonight. Especially, I thought it's a madman world would have got more votes than that. But
I watched it though.
I've
yeah,
seen
3
it.
I
hours.
love that
3
movie.
hours of fun.
I've seen
I
it a few
watched it.
times.
I loved it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. I don't know that it would go over in today's
No,
film.
no, it's not the same humor.
No.
No, not the same humor, but I still laughed because I
Yeah.
at least knew I knew who was acting. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I would never, try to take any of their acting chops away from them because they were all
No.
classic.
No, good show.
Thanks, Eddie. See you Friday. What about you, Roger? Anything you want to say?
Good show. Like I'll echo Eddie, and thanks for the invite as always. Had a good time. That's it.
All right.
See you next
Thank you.
week.
Alban, anything you want to say before we head out?
Thanks to everyone coming out. We have next week movies are Young Frankenstein and Up in Smoke.
Up in smoke.
In case if you don't join us on Friday, we have the UFC this weekend. Just
Good
so
one.
You know. Good
Yeah,
one.
we'll be in VR, so get your headset, Aubin.
Yeah.
Got to get it by Friday, by Saturday.
Yeah.
Just go get your brothers.
Yeah, I know. Oh, did you try that to see if?
Yes.
Yeah.
it
Hey,
works.
we'll
It
go
does
into
work?
that in the after show.
Okay.
We'll go into the after show.
No, that's
All right,
so we could let others know that who might not have an Oculus. But
if you have a VR and you use, we did find Steam, so we did get a Connect. It's not always the easiest setup because Roger had to do this way and that way, but
we figured it out.
Yeah.
It works.
Right.
But if people have Oculus, we will have someone will create a room on Saturday, and we'll have that fight on a
movie screen.
Yeah, somebody will have it out there. So
Yeah.
Anything else, Aubin, you got?
No, that's it for me. Thanks everyone.
All right. Thanks for everyone watching. I should be having a show on Friday. So we should have a regular Streaming Matters show on Friday. So join us on that. We'll talk about all kinds of cord cutting stuff. We talk about how to save money. We talk tech. We talk gaming. We jump around a lot. So we have that on Fridays, 5 p.m. Eastern time. Thanks for everyone watching. Thanks for everyone that joins in the side chat and votes. That's what this is all about, is all having fun, enjoying ourselves. If you have an Oculus, I think you can join my Telegram group. We have lots of fun. We're trying to join and do stuff together. So we're heading out. We'll see you guys in the after show.